Time has come to install Crypto Command Center. I pulled down from the support portal the tar archive and extracted it already to this directory. So let's navigate to it and see what we have inside. You'll see the RPM that's going to be installed, necessary packages, and several shell scripts. You'll also see this file, which is the freemium license that we will use to upload the CCC when the time comes to install the license at the very end of all these tutorials I'm doing. So I'm running as root here. We're going to run the install.sh script. There's a lot of prerequisites that are inside the script that's going to check beforehand. Let's see if we get any errors. I'll check the requirements, SC Linux, the supported environment. As you see, it's set the UMask automatically for me now. So a lot of this has been improved compared to before, where anything would throw an error and just kill the process, and you had to manually go into the install.sh script and really dig into things. So it will install here. You'll see I got a warning about disk space, but for a production environment, yeah, you want a server that has enough space. But for me, I think 30 gigs is enough. And do I want to provide a path? Or do I want to install one? So let's just install from internet again, the latest version that it has, even if I had it installed. So that's another thing is before you have to manually supply your environment variable and path that's been defined for Java, and it kind of caused a headache for a lot of people. Because sometimes actually you wouldn't find it or it wouldn't put it up again in the config.sh I've noticed, so in the other config script, it causes issues. So we'll run through here and let it install the JDK. Great. So we have the latest version. Which database do we want to use? We have options of Postgres or Oracle. I'm going to install Postgres locally using CCC. So I'm going to choose Postgres and choose the local option. It's going to ask you here, do you want to pull it down? Let's do it. And this part is great because it kind of does all the work for you. You don't have to be an expert in Postgres and configure everything on your database if you're just trying to get everything up and running for the first time, just for a demo environment. Of course, having an Oracle environment pre-configured is very important and a whole different topic, but we won't get into that. So what's the listening address in this case? It's going to be local loopback because we're connecting locally here. We're not going to configure syslog for now, but we will configure SSL for secure communication on the local box. I'm going to define the database password that's going to be used to connect using the JDBC later on. Remember this password, do not forget it. And now we have to create a self-signed cert for the database TLS communication. For my host name, I'm going to use the IP in this case. You probably want to use your FQDN and an HA environment. Let's define our attributes. It will generate the private key and certificate, and that's it. So Postgres is set up, CCC is technically installed, but now we need to run config, the config script that's loaded into the CC install directory to properly configure the product. So for now, we still didn't really do much yet, besides set up, installed RPM and packages and all the dependencies. But running the configuration script, which is this one right here, this is actually where the magic happens. And this is where a lot of people slip up in the past and had lots of different issues during the install. So we're going to do that in the next step.